What's up, y'all? It's your girl CJ. Excuse me. I am sick, so let's just get right into it.
Strangers from all across the country.
All of a sudden, she's gone.
I just knew something was wrong. It's not her character to not answer.
It's just the worst feeling in the world.
They get these little girls and these little boys on drugs and get them hooked. They can make them do anything.
It's shocking. It's upsetting.
I still have nightmares.
I wish we could take it back, man. I really do.
I do too, bro. Packed enough clothes in the suitcase to last you a week and you went home on a weekend. I just chose not to go back home.
It's very typical of a lot of small towns in Oklahoma. Everything kind of centers around the high school and church and those types of activities.
We chose to stay here because we had heard the school system's good. The people, for the most part, are good. Come to find out, later on down the years, it's not what it was all cracked up to be. We tried for 11, almost 12 years before we had Dre.
September 4th, 1996. Best day of my life.
Steve was just starting to get into her little rebellious stage.
Dre Wilson, she's 16 years old. She's pretty much your typical high school girl, except maybe, that she's really into video games.
She started staying in her room, not interacting with me or her mom. And then when we finally got her to crack and, tell us what the heck was going on, then it was obvious. She would get picked on at school by certain people, girls, but she didn't have no problem standing up for herself. I went and picked her up at lunch. She gets in the truck and she's all smiling, laughing. I was like, what? She goes, Dad, I finally did it. I said, what'd you do? She goes, this girl started picking on me. She pulled my hair. She tried to throw me to the ground. She said I just punched her in the mouth.
Period.
She was so happy that day. She just stood up for herself.
Period. As she fucking should.
I had found out she had been seeing this 21-year-old kid. I was like, oh no. No, you're not seeing him no more. I mean, she was basically under house arrest.
Good dad.
It was a Sunday morning. We'd all planned on going to the river and playing at the river. And Jeray comes into the bedroom and asks me if she can go to church with one of her friends. I let her go, and she didn't come home. She just kept saying she wanted to come home, but she didn't want to be grounded. She would never really tell us where she was because she knew we'd go try to find her. I knew there was something wrong. Every night I would text her and I'd say, goodnight, pumpkin. And as of 7 o'clock on that Sunday night, I didn't get nothing. She never answered me back.
Jeray was last seen with friends. Her mom had just talked to her on the phone.
The worst feeling in the world. I mean, there's no way I can even describe it. She's not contacted a single soul. None of her friends, no family members.
Of course, the longer they're gone, the more concerned everyone becomes.
It's an Oklahoma tragedy that's grabbing the attention of complete strangers from all across the country.
People from California, New York, North Dakota, and everywhere. Putting her on their prayer list at church.
When a teenage girl like Jeray Wilson goes missing, particularly in a smaller community like Weatherford, very often you're going to have the help of everyone in that community coming together to try and find her.
They need a lead. Here's another look at Jeray Wilson.
Nobody plans for this. When a child is missing, there's nothing more painful or stressful of not knowing where they're at. To drive through every little town, every old farmhouse that was sitting around, I can't tell you how many times I was either late getting to work or late coming home, of stopping and looking in railroad cars, old houses, abandoned barns.
Everyone knows the more time that passes, the less of a hope there is that she'll come home.
It has been more than 2 weeks since anyone has seen Jeray Wilson. Police in Custer County fear the teen may be in danger.
The 16-year-old was last seen at this gas station in Weatherford. It's only a couple of miles away from the family home.
And we went look at footage from their security cameras, and for some reason that morning it didn't record.
A witness claims that she saw Jeray hanging out with a man who was driving a white car.
As investigators are working around town, they're talking to people, they keep hinting that Jeray may have had ties to an alleged drug dealer.
There are reports that the teen may have owed money to someone involved in the illegal business.
A sense of dread starts to settle over the town as people begin to wonder what she's gotten involved in. Part of the investigation involves speaking with people who last saw Jeray.
So how was the trip up? Good. Boring. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in today. You understand you still don't have to talk to me, all right?
Jeray goes out to hang out with friends. They pick her up and go for a drive. They head a few miles north of town around the airport, and they smoke synthetic cannabis, a product known as K2.
You're here of your own free will, is that correct? You understand that you're free to leave at any time?
The friends all seem caught between wanting to cooperate with the investigation and wanting to avoid self-incrimination.
I get in trouble for transporting that stuff.
Can you get in trouble?
I mean, I know I can, but...
Yeah, you could potentially be in very serious trouble.
Isn't there what is the Good Samaritan law? Would that pertain to this specific situation or no? Encourage people to help others in emergencies by shielding them from civil liability for unintentional harm caused while rendering aid. Okay. Someone performing CPR in a stranger who collapses in a public place, a bystander assisting someone injured in a car accident, calling 911 for an overdose victim. So basically, for an example, if you and your group of friends all smoking K2 and then one of them overdoses, right? If the product's already in your system, according to this, allegedly, I could be completely wrong. If you're assisting that person who OD'd, like, nothing can happen to you. But he's talking about like trafficking drugs. So, yeah, the limitation, Good Samaritan laws generally do not protect against gross negligence or willful misconduct. The protection may not apply if the person providing aid is acting within the scope of their employment and receiving compensation. See, that shit gets sticky. It's getting sticky.
Drug deals, that's not okay. Right now, we've got to focus on what's happened to Jeray.
I like that name, Jeray.
Police are able to find out who this alleged drug dealer is, and they stake out his house and try and find out more about him. For a while, there's no activity. Finally, he arrives, police approach him, they pat him down, and they find a weapon on him.
Authorities have a person in custody in the case of a missing girl.
The 37-year-old was arrested today on a complaint of carrying a concealed weapon. Investigators believe the 37-year-old may have played a role in the kidnapping of Jeray Wilson.
The fact that this man is illegally carrying a weapon just raises everyone's concerns. They're probably dealing with some really unsavory people.
Authorities say a teenage girl reported missing from Weatherford may have been sold into human trafficking.
Oh wow, this took a dark turn.
Say a teenage girl reported missing from Weatherford may have been sold into human trafficking.
I had 8 OBN agents right where I'm sitting. Wanted to go through her room. At this point, I don't even know what to think. And then when they start talking about the human trafficking, and I still have nightmares.
First thought to be a runaway, police and her family now say they believe she's in danger. She's been missing almost 2 weeks now.
She had told some friends that she was being sought after by this guy named G, and that she owed him $700 and he was going to kill her or prostitute her out.
Authorities say human trafficking may have played a role in her disappearance, but her mother does not want to believe that.
It's awful thought to think that to me, she's my baby, so to think that there's people out there that actually do that.
In the middle of the investigation into DeRay's disappearance, this drug dealer is also linked to a separate murder investigation.
The investigation into the disappearance of a Weatherford teen helps detectives solve a murder case here in Oklahoma City.
Jeray Wilson went missing on October 15th. A month earlier, officers discovered the body of a 23-year-old man in far southeast Oklahoma City.
Here on this rural stretch of Kearns Road, just at this driveway right here, you can see a home, and that is where the body of 23-year-old Jonathan Patton was found, shot to death.
No one wants to believe that she might not be alive, but when you have a suspect who is connected to another homicide, it definitely makes you believe that they are capable of doing anything. People start to lose hope that they'll ever see her alive again.
The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics Human Trafficking Unit has received countless leads on the whereabouts of Jeray with the help from her family.
We put flyers out. We still go, to different towns, and we have a lot of people helping us.
We had 2 OBN agents that never gave up. They kept running into the same snags as everybody else, but they never gave up.
OBN says so far they've interviewed more than 100 people.
After being thoroughly investigated, nothing is being found to connect the drug dealer to Jeray's disappearance. You obviously have that belief that, oh, yes, this is our guy. It is very easy to make the leap when the person appears to be the type of person who could be responsible for something of that nature. I think it's always very, especially for those families, very demoralizing when that one thing that they believe is, going to give them the answer that they so desperately seek turns out to not be the answer.
She made the comment to me that if she was to ever run away, that she would have to leave the country because she knows that I would never stop. And I just see that run through my mind every time. I would almost feel exhausted if I've checked everywhere, I've done everything, I've looked everywhere. Why can't I find her?
It looks like the authorities have overturned every stone and nothing is coming together.
Jeray Wilson, our big story this morning, a possible break in the case.
After it seems like the case has gone cold, suddenly the town of Weatherford is overrun with police.
Investigators found human remains that may be the missing Weatherford teen.
What people are seeing on television is that police have uncovered a body. People just don't know who it is.
At this time, officials, though, can still not confirm the body is Jeray.
A guilty conscience is what opened up this case.
What's up, man?
Part of the investigation involved a sting operation where the informant called the primary suspect.
Man, some crazy went down yesterday, dude.
Did you come over?
Yeah, let me get dressed and shower up and I'll meet you over at your house or something.
Alright, I'll let you know what they told me. Alright. Here.
In the recordings, you can hear the investigators whispering to the informant.
But dude, this is freaking scary, man. I don't even know what to do. Did you take that deal?
No.
Man, I wish I could get some kind of deal that didn't involve us both going down,
I know.
You can tell they feel the walls closing in on them.
I don't know, bruh. I might have to take a deal, dude. That's my life in prison.
Yeah, bro. My life in prison, bro.
That's some scary man. We messed up. I wish we could take it back, man. I really do.
I do too, bro.
From my experience, you very often will see new leads come from participants in the crime, particularly when they're younger people.
Yeah.
Some very small thing finally compels them to, or they just basically crack.
Now to the 19-year-old arrested in this case.
It's 19-year-old Tucker McGee. He'll be arraigned this afternoon. Right now he's being held.
Wait. Isn't that the friend? Wait. What?
Held in the Custer County Jail there in Arapahoe. Today in court, he's expected to hear the charges against him, and we're told that will include first-degree murder in connection with the death of Jeray Wilson. Our crews talked with neighbors who know McGee. They tell us that he was a quiet kid, graduated from Weatherford High.
These two boys, you'd have never thought anything of them in your entire life.
This can tear a small town apart.
McGee's former co-worker from this gas station is still shocked by the arrest.
He helped me put up the posters at the fast lane, the Jeray posters. Like, I don't think he did it.
And the investigation, we're told, is far from over. Officials with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics say it's possible that more people will be arrested.
The informant mapped out where investigators could find the remains.
Now, OVN says within moments of them beginning to dig, they found a human skull and then more human remains.
When we're called out to some place like Weatherford, which is about an hour away from Oklahoma City, for breaking news, you're feeling anxious. It's shocking. You feel that sinking pit in your stomach because you know that sense of finality is there.
We did, in fact, make contact with the family. We obviously did not go tell them we found Jeray because we don't know that at this point.
They still are holding on to the hope that their loved one will be found safe.
I can also tell you earlier today, talking to people around town, a lot of people stunned and saddened by these latest developments.
If it is Jeray, then at least we'll have some kind of closure. Yeah. I know people in this town have been had a sick feeling in their stomach for a long time. And, just pray for that family.
The whole scene is carefully mapped out by investigators. Some articles of clothing are recovered there, some piercings that may have been Jeray's. Investigators also find bullet casings.
Jeray's family wouldn't talk on camera, but her father sent me this statement. We are still waiting on official word, and we are still remaining hopeful. After crews found remains in this wooded area, the medical examiner's office confirms they are of his daughter Jeray.
Oh, I got goosebumps. Oh my
gosh. The sun
gosh.
broke through the cloud, and it shined down on what was the back of her skull. And it's like she wanted to be found. It was time.
The details of this dark day are...
I don't like seeing men cry. I don't know if guys have that same feeling for girls. I know women, we typically tend to be emotional human beings. I mean, like, men are too, but it just does something to me when I see a man cry. Like, it hurts my soul.
The hardest thing was when we went through the trial. The things they brought up in the trial, we had no clue. I found out about it just like anybody else that was sitting in that courtroom.
The eyewitness told the court that he was with both Jeray Wilson and Tucker McGee the day of the murder. Jeray Wilson called Tucker McGee and asked for a ride. On the way to get her, McGee showed his friend a gun and said, "We could go kill Jeray." His friend laughed it off as a joke, but it wasn't. He says that they went to a field just north of Weatherford where they smoked K2, a synthetic marijuana. McGee allegedly was irritated with Wilson because she wouldn't stop talking. So he pulled out a gun and shot her in the head.
What the fuck?
People are shocked by the senselessness of this crime.
She thought she was with friends.
That's what I mean. That's fucking crazy, bro. Hold on, I gotta look up what K2 does to somebody. You know, I've smoked weed here and there. I still be smoking. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It calms my nerves every once in a while. I just want to know some more information about K2. Like what I want to educate myself on what the fuck K2 is. The spice interacts with the same brain cell receptors as Delta 9, which is THC, an active chemical found in marijuana naturally. This is the reason that the drug is commonly associated with marijuana and sometimes referenced as synthetic marijuana. K2 effects on the brain can be more significant than those of marijuana, making the drug more unpredictable and dangerous. Some of the reported effects of synthetic: improved mood, altered perception, delusional thinking, relaxation, confusion, hallucinations, extreme cases of anxiety and paranoia, repeated vomiting, suicidal tendencies, increased heart rate, violent behavior. I get, like, they're teens, they think it's cool. The drug category, I come from a family history of alcoholics and users, so it's like I'm very hesitant on like dealing with certain shit. I have a very addictive personality. Tequila is my downfall currently, but you know, we're working on that. So is vapes, clearly, but I don't know. I don't fuck with anything that will make me hallucinate. Like, I never have. I'm not gonna lie, like, I've tried shrooms and I was on like a decent trip, but I don't like that feeling. I don't like that, like the calm downs that come with it. I don't know. I don't like drugs in general. It's just, it is unpredictable. Like, you don't know, especially somebody who already struggles with mental health issues. I feel like drugs is the last thing you should be putting in your system. Even now, sometimes if I smoke too much weed, I'll get super fucking anxious and I'm like, I need to be alone. Like, I start acting the fuck up. So it's like, I do not want to feel like I'm not in control of my body at all times. Like, I hate that feeling. I hate it.
It emerges that there are 3 suspects: Tucker McGee, who pulled the trigger, Caleb McLemore, who helped bury the body the next day, and a minor who witnessed it all.
Hardest thing, they showed a lot of photographs to see your child's bones.
I can't imagine.
Will never leave my head.
Poor honey.
The clothes she was wearing, vacuum sealed in a trash bag.
Evidence.
I can't get out of my head.
And you have to listen to him say your child's name and being murdered in the same sentence. It's hard. No matter what happens, it's not going to bring her back.
He got life without parole. At the time, that's not enough for me, but that was the most he could get.
In 2018, Tucker McGee was resentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Nah, keep his K2 smoking head ass in there, bro. Caleb McLemore served part of his 25-year sentence and is out on probation. The underage informant received 7 years parole for his cooperation. So he what? Yeah. The one who witnessed all of it, who they just said, he was the informant.
The feeling you get when a child is missing, when you lose someone that's very dear to your heart, the instant that you hear that they're not there, they've gone. That feeling, still to this day, is how I feel every day, every minute, every second. Seeing the way she left, I didn't want to bury her again, so we put her in her own little place. This is where we're all going to end up at some point. And we'll be all together again. They took my little girl away from me, taking a lot away from me that I'll never, ever get back.
People are going to remember Jeray Wilson and the 3 young men whose lives were destroyed over something so senseless. This type of crime will change a community forever.
It sucks because you know that her dad beats himself up every day for letting her go to church, right? But it's like he did everything correct. Like, you could tell he was a very devoted and loving father, bro. Like, it sucks. Like, teens are rebellious, and it's not her fault for getting involved. She thought that these were her people, these were her friends, and she just wanted to be cool, wanted to be, obviously she already struggled enough with dealing with bullies, so it's like, if she does get that love from her peers, even like an ounce, and they're like, oh, like, let's smoke, like, okay, she's gonna put herself in any room that's available because she wants to feel that connection with some of her peers, just like any teenager would. It's just hard. I'm so sorry that she got like caught up in the wrong crowd. And anyways, y'all, that is it. Thank y'all so much. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you next Sunday for Storytime Sunday. Bye. Love y'all.